Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more, or click the URL in the video description below. Lastly, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part podcast, you have Toyota being the #1 automaker on the planet for the 5th year in a row, even beating out Volkswagen Group, which used to be a very respected company. Now, really only Porsche is what I care about in their portfolio. I partially digress. This comes to us thanks to Ronan at The Drive, and they say, quote, Toyota is the world's #1 car maker for the 5th year in a row, beating out Volkswagen Group. Now, it was a little disappointing to find out that hybrids represent nearly half of Toyota's global sales in 2024, so not going in, all in rather on EVs, has seemingly paid off. Now, it is a little disappointing that the board of directors, not more accurately, the shareholders, kind of pushed out the grandson of Mr. Toyoda, Akio Toyoda. He was actually pushed out of the CEO position. They put in the former CEO of Lexus, again, their little sister, well, their subsidiary, Toyota owns Lexus. Well, they put him in charge because his background was more hybrid technologies and the industry wanted to push EVs. And, the grandson of Toyota is very much a race driver. He's very passionate about, awesome things like gas engines and stick shifts. And now he's the chairman. So again, he's not the CEO, but he's still very involved. But it was a little disappointing he kind of got pushed out when, in fact, he read the room right. People want gas engines and hybrids. Toyota pretty much invested more than any other major automobile company in terms of hybrid technologies, with the tune of nearly $7 billion last year. It was a huge investment in research development and product lines, and it's paid off. I still don't know how Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, still has a job when the whole industry was pushing towards the consumers buying hybrids. GM made one hybrid at the time, the Corvette, which is so stupid it's beyond belief. Also, it should have 3 pedals, but I partially digress. Yeah, they read the room wrong. Pretty much everyone did. Though again, government was also bullying them. Toyota read the room right and put a lot of resources into their hybrid technologies. And as the sales have shown, that's what many consumers want. Now, they say that, quote, the numbers are in and the results aren't entirely surprising. Boosted by an uptick for demand in hybrids in key markets, Toyota secured its title as the world's biggest automaker in 2024. The Volkswagen Group came in second for the 5th year in a row in spite of strong headwinds, which, weren't strong enough. Bloomberg reported that Toyota's global sales totaled 10.8 million vehicles in 2024. Now, they note that, bear in mind, that figure bundles in the group's divisions, which, of course, Lexus, as well as Hino, which is, focuses on trucks. They note that finishing another year at the top of the industry is a good reason to celebrate, but the news comes with the asterisk. Toyota's global sales fell by 3.7% in 2024, which, again, most auto companies did partially for record high and, almost comically bad interest rates. And go to a car dealership, back in my day, you used to be a good, relatively good interest rate, 0, which wasn't really 0. They packed the money in somewhere, but maybe a 1 or 2% loan for your vehicle. That used to be really good. Now, and it's depressing when you're looking at housing prices too, it's near 6 to 7 to 8% depending on your credit rating. So to have that type of situation for a vehicle, that's not very, most people don't find that very palatable. Now, they say that Volkswagen and Toyota have taken turns claiming the top sales spot for several years. Volkswagen came out ahead in 2016 against many odds, but Toyota snagged that crown in 2020 and hasn't given it up since. In 2024, Volkswagen Group finished second with 9.03 million cars sold, which is a 2.3% drop compared to 2023. Competition from China and a downturn in the EV market largely explain the decrease, which, without massive tariffs, I suspect BYD, again, the largest EV hybrid manufacturer out of China, they're going to take over darn near every market globally speaking because, kind of like the phone market, kind of hard to compete with China's very, very pro-manufacturing laws, regulations, and instances. Now, they note that Toyota is one of the only car makers that hasn't gone all in on EV, and this strategy likely helped them retain the sales crown as demand for EVs fell in many regions. going to fall even more that governments are starting to curtail many of the money they're throwing at consumers. In the US, you're getting a $7,500 tax break if you're to buy an EV. Now, they said it sold over 4.2 million hybrids last year, up from 3.5 million in 2023. Its EV sales totaled 139,892 units in 2024, a big increase compared to 104,018 units sold in 2023, but the figures nonetheless represents little more than a rounding error for the company. Now, geez Louise, I didn't realize Volkswagen pushed so many of these things out of their dumpster. In contrast, Volkswagen sold about 745,000 EVs in 2024, which is astronomical, and I feel bad for the owners because I can't help but think they'll go about 18 feet before they break, maybe 23 feet. And geez, you thought Volkswagen was unreliable in general? Making an EV? Yeah, it's going to be rough. They know that it was a 3.4 dip from 2023 results, where they sold 270,000 plug-in hybrids, up 5% last year. Numbers are telling. Volkswagen delivered 8% more EVs in China in 2024 than 2023, but deliveries dropped 30% in the United States, which is probably why I haven't seen more than 3. Several other industry gains have been published in 2024 sales figures. China-based BYD sold 4.3 million cars in 2024, a huge 41% increase compared to 2023. That number includes 1.8 million electric cars, according to Bloomberg. They note that BYD's main market is China, where the government incentives and mandates are pushing car makers and motorists towards all electric, which, yeah, I'm sure the giant panda government would love that. What's the easiest way to control people? Well, yeah, electronics and EVs. So great job for Toyota to knock it out of the park yet again. And it's great because they can have all these fun pet projects, like you can see the cool on the screen, the Corolla GR, which used to only come with a stick shift, like all cars should be by default. But now they do offer a automatic transmission for those who want that. But yeah, it's no surprising. I mean, even with all recalls, Toyota is one of the most bulletproof, reliable brands, I would argue, since the dawn of time. Though, I think reliability realistically did peak around the 2000s era. After that, you got a lot more crap put in the vehicles, which inevitably mean more things that can break because you have more variables. And truth be told, my parents bought a 2001 Honda Accord new, and to this day, runs like a champ, even with the Midwest Salt, which is quite an accolade in and of itself. So not too surprised that Toyota's doing so well. Is interesting to see the American adoption rate for hybrids being so high, considering, eventually that battery's going to be useless and, mean the car's useless by default. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.